All right. Welcome to our latest episode of That's Fair Podcast, and I'm your host, Matt.
It's your boy, Bing Bing.
Oh, it's me, Myles.
And we are going to talk about the sad case of Chloe Ottman out of Waterbury, Connecticut in 2010. So, stay tuned. This is a sad one, you guys. Not as bad as the one you and I went over. Like, you remember that? I mean, it's always the same level of shit because of what it involves, as far as when you have these psychopaths who do this shit. But I'm not talking. Go ahead.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, why the fuck do we keep doing these? They're so sad.
To remember them.
You know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is for a good reason. This is for a good reason.
We do it for a good reason.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's the only main reason. And like, was that you?
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
it's cool,
I was
man.
unprepared.
It's all right, man. You're allowed to get text messages and shit.
Unprofessional.
When we did the one on Jerry Lee Underwood, like I said, one of her relatives reached out to us. That was awesome.
Yeah.
One of her actual relatives. So
this
that's
is
why
we do it.
I know.
All right.
But this one took place in Waterbury, Connecticut in 2010. Chloe Ottman, who was born in New London on April 1st of 1994, was a student at Crosby High School. Okay, now she was going to be a junior. I think this happened in the summer. This happened in July.
Damn.
What we're about to go over.
It'd be like the worst time to die, I think. You know?
Right.
It's hot.
I mean, I don't know.
Sweaty.
I was thinking more, okay, when you said the worst time to die, I was thinking more of the age that they were. But okay,
yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, I mean, okay, especially for the age, too, because, you know, like, hey, summer break. Gotta get your groove on.
I don't think it fucking matters what time of year they die. They probably don't give a shit.
I mean, they probably did. They died.
I think that the level of grief is probably the same, whether it's in November,
Sure.
July.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, maybe on Christmas or on their birthday, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
I mean,
Excuse
could you
me.
just imagine me like, dude, I had plans to go hit the water slide.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Nope, he did.
Okay,
she
so
did.
as you can see, we're very, very sorry for everybody's loss.
It's been a couple weeks. Okay,
It really has.
We're jumping right back in, guys.
It's hard once we get together for the first
It
time.
is fucked up because that's what I'm saying. It's like it's been a while, and like we come back and we want to do something, and it's like.
Then I pick a fucking serious one for us to do.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I feel like we can't start on a serious.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta let us warm in.
It's too late.
We're already we're in too deep. Anyways.
All right. So Chloe Ottman, though, she was the daughter of Jessica Gargano and Derek Ottman. And she had a sister named Zachary Ottman. And all of them were from Waterbury, Connecticut. It's kind of cool, though. I actually like guys' names on girls. Like my oldest daughter's Alex.
Yeah.
See, that one makes sense. I'm not sure Zachary. That's a new one.
Well, it was without a C. Z-A-K. Does that help?
No.
I actually think it's cool. This was very important.
Okay.
But no, before we go into what happened to her, some of her personality traits, she was a very compassionate person with they said she had a true presence. She was a very loyal and open person. And she possessed, they said, a sly sense of humor, which I think we all have.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good set to have right there, you know?
Well, a sly sense of humor is actually also a sign of intelligence, like quick wit. And,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good jazz.
Smart humor.
Yeah.
But
that's why Mark doesn't catch most of our jokes.
What? Oh, okay.
But some of
IQ of 4.
Whoa.
Spell boat. That's what I
Dumbass.
fucking thought.
Okay.
Speaking of boats.
So just real quick before I tell you how fucked up this is,
Yeah.
Some of her likes included her family and friends. She loved hugging people. Her favorite color was purple. She liked the Twilight movies, just the first one, but didn't care for the other ones. But she did like the books. She was heavy into mascara, as some of the pictures that we will show on YouTube. By the way, please don't forget to subscribe, like. Thank you for the new subscribers
How old
that
was
jumped
she?
on. 16?
16? Yeah, that's like some
And what year was
kid
it?
shit. Yeah.
What year?
2010.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Oh, I was in the Twilight movies. Them bitches.
but yeah, she was heavy into mascara. She loved to bulldoze smaller soccer players when she played soccer. She was a little taller, so she would
Nice.
like mow them the fuck right over. She'd polymolly that ass. She liked to kayak Pyramid Lake. She would love crossing cultural barriers, and then she liked hanging out with her grandparents on their tractor and their
Nice.
truck and shit. But
Just a small town gal.
pretty much. But I mean, she was actually really loved. Like when you watch some of the memorials that they do. Like I was watching some on YouTube tonight. Like I even had a pause when I showed you Chloe Ottman. And even a year afterwards, they had the news station was out there and it said remembering the local teen, and it was a pretty big deal, man. Ultimately, she would be cremated and kept with her, close to her dad. The only grave marker I guess she has is a bench made in her name, and it's in an undisclosed location. That's all I can tell you. One of her friends, she had a good circle of friends, kind of popular. One of her friends was named Francisco Cruz. He was 19. He knew Chloe Ottman for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And this is not going to go good, I have a feeling.
I'm not. I was trying to be so discreet about it.
No, I just think you're fucked. Anyway.
All right, we're good.
Anyway, Mark Bingham is adjusting the microphone. We'll have to figure out, how to adjust
Yeah,
these
that's
because
all right,
I'm over here on the corner craning my neck.
Yeah. I just want to be close. I feel like I'm too far away.
All right.
But we're good. Hey guys.
Okay. So anyway, July 17th, I believe was a Thursday. I mean, that's her death day is July 17th. Anyway, there's a place called Holyland that was a very religious, it was a theme park. It's not an amusement park. And this thing opened in like 1958. And it just had a theme park for religious, it followed Bible scriptures and whatnot, but like there were snack bars.
That's a unique park scheme,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and if you watch videos on it, it's really cool looking. It's been, it officially closed in 1984 when the owner and creator died. That's when it's closed, but they local nuns had planned on restoring it, but they haven't quite got to it. But it would be a cool place. You should see it like on the videos and stuff. It's a cool ass place. There's a 50-foot. I mean, if you're religious, whoa, calm the fuck down. I do this every time. There's a 50-foot cross, right? Tall. It lights up at night, and ultimately, she was hanging out with Francisco. They'd known each other for a couple of years. He had a crush on her. She didn't. She had a boyfriend, but he had a crush on her, and so he bought like 4 types of malt liquors and was drinking them excessively. And then they went up to this right at the base of this 50-foot cross in Holy Land. And one thing led to another. They're laying there. They're kind of hanging out. She knew him for 2 years, so she thought he was safe. I mean, you can't blame her. I mean, they were friends for like 2 years. They took pictures and shit together, right?
Sure.
Why 19-year-olds hanging out with high school people? I gotta wonder about that one. But,
that's always questionable. Yeah.
I mean,
that don't make no sense.
How do you guys say it? That is sus. That's sus.
That's crazy, man.
That's Diddy shit. That's what we're on now.
Yeah,
We don't say sus no more. That's that Diddy shit.
Oh, is that what we're saying now?
Diddy,
sorry,
Diddy.
I'm
that Diddy Diddler.
I'm still on dude and but all right.
You just discovered awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
And tubular.
Say bruh. Say bruh.
Bruh.
Nice.
Bruh.
What's up, bruh?
Say bogus.
Hey, bruh. Is that right?
That's pretty good.
All right. Anyway, they're hanging out, and they just got through like hanging out in the smoking area of like what is that, Burlington's Coke Factory, and they
just doing kid shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
That's what it
headed,
sounds like.
Yeah, they headed to Holy Land, and they were hanging out, and it got to be later and later, and he started getting what he would ultimately tell the police he was feeling, quote, tipsy, and he started groping her, and she was thwarting off his advances, basically telling him, fuck no, it's not like that, man. What are you doing, you know?
We homies, bro.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And that's what they were for 2 years.
Yeah.
And even though, like I said, he thought they were closer than they really were, she was probably more like, Jesus Christ, you know? I guess that's the wrong thing to say in Holy Land.
Yeah.
Most likely. Probably not going to get a pass.
But anyway, so they're hanging out, and then he starts to really start groping her, getting a little more aggressive. And ultimately, he was wearing glasses at the time. She physically pushed him away and then caught him with an elbow in the face. And I think that was hoping that would be a getaway because she started getting really mad at him. Well, this is what triggered him. He instantly spun around and got her into a chokehold. And then as she started screaming, he covered her mouth.
Oh shit.
And then this struggle ensued for like a minute or so. And then he was able to shove her down onto her back, and he was able to press his thumbs into her neck until she passed out.
Oh, Jesus.
Then, trigger warning, he started to sexually assault her as she was out. You know, he told the police, well, I felt a pulse. I want to make sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
mean,
what a gentleman, dude. What a fucking guy.
He's a piece of shit. I mean, I said, remember, the name is Francisco Cruz. That's the last time we need to say that piece of shit's name.
I agree.
And
Public executions.
absolutely.
That's all I'm whispering into the
Or hangings right there. I mean, but no, you'll ultimately find out that he got 55 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Troubling.
But ultimately,
he says,
as he's currently, and as you know, the offended like to be, she's being SA'd, I guess, which is so stupid. It's sexually assaulted. It's in the English vocabulary. While it's happening, she starts gasping for breath. You know what I'm saying? And she's waking up. So he stops, and it freaks him out. He gets more aggressive with her, choking her with his thumbs into her neck, and it kills her. And he had sex with her one more time. He ended up having sex with her after she was deceased. And then ultimately he would drag her body off into the woods. He would cover her. First of all, he wanted to make sure she was dead after he sexually assaulted her one more time. So he repeatedly stabbed her in the neck.
Oh.
And then to stop bleeding from all over the concrete by the cross, he took her clothes that he had ripped off of her while she was out cold before she died, and wrapped it around her neck to stop any bleeding so it wouldn't stay in the concrete and show any evidence. And then he drug her naked body off into the woods and left her, and then threw her remains behind a tree. And the next day, because I think it's like a 24-hour thing when you can actually call someone missing.
So that's false for anybody listening.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is actually false. You do not have to wait 24 hours to report somebody missing. It's bullshit.
Well, this happened in the wee hours of Thursday morning going into Friday, and she was reported missing that day, Friday. So I don't think much time was wasted.
Yeah.
So anyway, he denied.
there shouldn't be a fucking time limit on that either, by the way. Like,
no.
You know?
Yeah, not even for
No,
an
go
adult.
ahead. Go ahead.
But
I'm like, well, your dog goes missing, people start looking for it right away. You know what I mean? Like, why can't that be the same for fucking people, you know?
Well, this piece of shit denied having anything to do with her gone missing, even though some people reported he was the last one seen with her.
Yeah.
He denied, and even helped them conduct a search party the next day. Like he was,
What
helping
a fucking loser, bro.
Yeah, he's a piece of
He
shit.
should have applied to be a CEO of the healthcare company.
Oh.
Nice. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a good slide.
I didn't say that. That was Myles.
Man, fuck it, dude. Help people.
Hey, man.
Fuck them, bro. Fuck them.
That's what he's doing.
You got a
I mean,
family,
not
you
to-
got kids.
Not to get off subject, but you guys are right, though. I mean, I don't justify someone being shot like that as CEO of healthcare, but my God, man.
People need fucking help too, dog.
I mean,
Let's be real here. Let's cut the shit.
No, you're right, man.
Okay? If I was in need of medical assistance and I wasn't helped,
Be careful.
I'm not saying I'd kill somebody, but fuck, man. Come on, dude.
I was gonna say you gotta be careful because they already arrested some woman in Florida for making a phone call.
Oh, yeah, because I live out there. I did it. I did it. Look at me. I made it all back to Colorado. Come on.
We're not too worried
that's-
about
I'm-
Florida.
That's not the you're misreading what I just said. It's
That's
more or
what I
less.
took
It's more or
from
less. It's more or less. Yeah, I know that's what you took from it.
Fuck it, I'd still move to
it's-
Florida. I'll take Florida over Colorado in a heartbeat.
It's cold, man. It's too cold here.
No, you got to realize it's just that she had said deny, defend, depose, or whatever the fuck was written on the bullets carved into the casings, and then said you guys are next over the phone, and then she was arrested.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's
So-
You're
a threat.
talking kind of like Nicolas Cage when you're
Oh, come on, man.
goes she over the phone.
She obviously did it this way.
I watched back to back
It was
Nicolas Cage. I've only been watching Nicolas Cage for the past week. All right,
Well, so that's your problem.
I have to warn you, I'm Castor Troy. But no, anyway, we trail, but that's what we do. It's our way of coping. I mean, I'm not gonna lie,
for
it's
real.
easier.
This shit's hard to talk about, guys. I'm not.
But on Friday, that Friday they did conduct, from what I understand, a search. He was trying to help them be a part of the search, joining some of the family and friends, acting like he gave a shit.
And they found her, I'm guessing?
No, Saturday he finally turned himself in. Why? I don't know. I think he knew that they were closing in on him.
That or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Probably
I don't think
so-called guilt, man. I don't know.
I don't know if he felt guilty.
You can't deny like that and then just be like, nah, well.
But the thing is, though, is ultimately in court, this piece of shit wouldn't even look at the family or conduct any kind of apology to him. And even the family said, if you confess to your crimes, we'll take the death penalty off the table. We just need closure. And he did. He confessed to it. But he confessed to the police. He led the police to the body. He confessed that day, Saturday.
Wow.
The next day after the search and they hadn't found her, he's like, well, no, because I think he knew they were closing in on him.
Oh,
He's a bitch.
I mean, from what it sounds like, it wasn't a very big. Where was this at?
This was in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Doesn't sound very big.
No, believe it or not, the acreage of this Holyland is like 18 acres. It's
That's
a
pretty
big
big.
fucking
That's
attraction.
pretty big,
But there was nearby woods that he ultimately drug her in to hide her. But he confessed to the murder and led the investigators to her body on Saturday. Like, I don't know, whatever that following Saturday was.
in a fucked up way. I don't really know how to say it, like soundly, I guess. But that's
Right.
probably like the most humane shit he did, though. Was like having like the conscience to be like,
I still think he
You
knew
know?
they were closing in. I
Yeah.
think he knew he was fucked.
like he was
Yeah,
fucked. He was fucked either way. You know
I
what
think
mean?
I think it's like those people that apologize after they've gotten caught.
yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
They're
It's-
only sorry
they're
because they were caught.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, yeah. So, but he admitted he strangled and, trigger warning, raped her at the base of the statue of this big cross. He said he like I said, he said he felt a pulse, and when he felt it, he continued to, trigger warning, sexually assault her and then fatally stab her. But I know he did. He had intercourse disgustingly with her corpse at one time. He was charged with a capital.
Don't do that.
Hey, what's that, Mark?
Don't do that.
No,
Half-ass references,
no.
necrophilia, giggles.
No. I was talking about how he was going to be charged with federal felony when you were predicting
Oh,
it was a
okay.
capital offense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Capital felony and murder.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I guess my timing was off.
That was like,
No, my God.
Anybody watching, it literally thinks Mark
It's
is a
okay,
necrophilia.
guys.
No, that was my fault. No, Mark called the capital punishment type thing. But it was going to be a death sentence. But like I said, the family talked it down as long as you confess to it. He never apologized. So but he admitted, here's what he said. Quote, the piece of shit, quote, she fought fiercely. She fought his advances, elbowing me in the face and screaming in the night. And he said, in the secluded wooded area at the base of the 50-foot statue, because it's kind of far out there. It does overlook Waterbury and like 84th, Interstate 84, whatever. Anyway, but the courts were able to prove that for some reason, they were able to prove that he felt she had no pulse. But he still, even though when she had no pulse, that's when he, of course, defiled her.
Yeah, I want to know why
that.
that they're coming down to the logistics of the fucking.
Yeah,
case.
I don't get why.
Well, I mean, I understand they have to do it based on what he's
sure.
charged with, because now he can be charged with both the rape and the necrophilia. Well,
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like there's a charge for defiling a corpse.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's a felony, from what I understand.
So I get. Yeah, now I kind of understand why they're trying to.
But this is John A. Connolly says, quote, I have been reading statements for 30 years, and this is the most chilling, if not the most chilling statement I have ever read. I mean, this guy's a total piece of shit. And I mean, like I said, he'd ultimately go to court. Yeah, rip this, see the tape, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's a nice patch-up job, though.
Way to go.
Thanks, man. It's like my little Frankenstein over here.
Yeah.
But he would go to court, like his court was like a year later. And he would ultimately get 55 years, which means by the time he got sentenced and everything, it was 20.
Who thinks that's enough time?
No.
Nope.
There's no fucking way, man.
I hope he dies.
You know what? You know what I love? Like, okay, hear me out.
There's
Death
no
penalties are
fucking way.
cool and shit, but I don't think a death penalty should extend the amount of a year, personally. But
What do you mean?
like, okay, so if you're given the death penalty, it shouldn't exceed a year. We shouldn't be paying for you to survive a fucking year.
Yeah, you shouldn't be on death row for more than a fucking year.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? If we've decided you're going to fucking die or you're going to spend life in prison, why waste money fucking letting you reform?
True.
Like,
But like this sick fuck,
Yeah.
this sick fuck in court, I didn't care. I just kept trying to touch her, he said.
Jesus, dude.
of course.
It's like, you're a sick piece of shit, man. I mean, she trusted you. She was hanging out with you. She didn't look at you like you looked at her. Like, obviously, for obvious reasons why, you fucking sociopath.
Death by firing squad, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. First of all, I just want to say to Chloe Ottman, I hope she's resting in peace.
Yeah.
Sincerely, man.
As always.
Like if
we always got to give them the rest in peace, man.
the only benefit I see to putting people like this in prison is if you're like, if you got the right guards that are like, yep, this is what he did. Have fun for the next 55 years. Make this dude's life hell for the next 55
But I mean,
years.
you have someone.
You know what I mean? Like, you slip the right guy $20 a week, make this guy's
slip him an oatmeal bar and extra water, dude.
You're like, hey man, you put this guy in the ICU. Every time he gets out of the ICU, we'll give you, your what is it? Commissary? He's like, your commissary is gonna be loaded, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, all the TV time you want.
Yeah. Like, hey man.
But the thing is, though, is I get the idea from friends, like listening to them talk about Chloe Ottman, that he was kind of the odd person out, and I think he knew it. I don't want to say he was what you call a tag along, but that's probably the best way to put it. I mean,
That's third wheel.
That's yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he was still in school, but you have a 19-year-old hanging out with fucking high schoolers. I mean,
that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's only an age out of high school, but you need to be moving on with your life, man.
Yeah.
And like, you have someone who is going to be a junior at Crosby High School, and like, it's one of those situations where you can say, yeah, they have their whole life ahead of them, man. I mean, they were, I don't know, and then you read about this. I learned of this one, watching Scott on Tape on YouTube. He's a dude that I follow. He's fucking awesome. He's giving us a shout out, by the way.
Yeah.
And he went up to, like I said, Holyland, which was open in like 1958. And this guy, though, there was no remorse.
Is that park still open?
It is, but it didn't. It opens at dawn and closes at dusk. Police patrol it now. I think they had been since 2010 when this incident went down. I mean, I don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
but I do know
it
that
would be
they're
the right thing to do.
Right. I mean, like I don't know, but like I said, the father I think he kept their ashes, and they had a memorial bench in her honor, but it was at some memorial park or something, and then he had it removed. He had it moved to an undisclosed location. So that would be hard, man. That would be hard, especially when I don't know, she's missing and you're already assuming the worst, and then you find out that this piece of shit that she was hanging out with. And 55 years, which means by the time he was sentenced, if he'd already served 1 year, he'll be 74 when he gets out.
That's what's crazy too, is growing up, especially like talking to my parents about like specific friends that I had growing up and stuff. Like, parents know, like, they can see that shit most of the time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they've got
like,
the intuition because they've lived it all.
Yeah, they're like, hey, why is this fucking old ass kid hanging out with our kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
and even then, it's not on them. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Well, no, but
but like, they usually know better, right? Like,
but on the flip side, though, you probably trust your daughter and her judgment, thinking that she's going to, she's going to make the right friends. I mean, But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, like, I've definitely hung out with like the older crowd, but I don't think it was really too many people like outside of my age range.
Yeah,
I'm laughing that here we are. Like, man, that's just creepy. Old dude hanging out with younger guys. Hello.
Matt.
Well, I mean, none of us
Matt
are
watched
either. So
Matt has watched Dazed and Confused one too many times. He's like, like the high school girls.
I just now realized I'm sitting in the middle. I guess I'll be going skiing.
Alrighty then. All right.
Not hardly. Relax.
Take that multivitamin, bitch.
I'm clocking out. Good night. Have a nice night.
Oh, you clocked out a couple weeks ago.
Oh. Never to clock back in again.
Not at that fucking.
Still kind of sad though.
That's
I won't lie.
fucked up, man.
What?
It's all right. We miss Myles. He's fine.
That's my boy. But what are your thoughts on this whole story, man? Because it didn't make like huge headline news like the one we're going to go into after our next segment.
I think that's like like I said, it's always hard to do ones like these, but I think because it isn't a big story, it's not, everybody knew about it. It wasn't this high profile case. Like, that's the point in doing it almost, is the fact that like we are giving the shining to people, who deserve it. Really.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I wouldn't say we do a bad job at it because
we don't do a great job
because we trail a lot. But I do think we get the point across that it is.
We try to make light of a dark subject.
To be honest,
it doesn't necessarily mean we're doing a bad job.
Like, if I got killed, right?
Yeah.
And they made this documentary about me, It was all fucking sad and like
I wouldn't watch it.
he lived a good life.
I'd probably play video
All this
games.
shit or whatever. Like I would hope somebody like us got a hold of it.
I would.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a
Make
dick.
some fucking light out of it. Be
But,
like,
like-
oh, this guy was pretty fucking cool, man. Like,
I'd wait till I could download it for 99 cents and then probably never watch it.
Never
But tell your
watch it,
family I
man.
downloaded
Look
it.
at it this way, though. Look at it this way. Like we're still growing and growing pretty good.
Yeah.
As far as on Spotify and whatnot. And like I said, we got a couple of subscribers just recently, the last couple of days on YouTube. But what I'm saying is like imagine their family if they ever decide to look up and they see their name,
Yeah.
Chloe Ottman, and they're like, well, this little underground podcast all the way in Colorado did
Just covering
something
it,
about
yeah.
my daughter. So that's pretty fun. And like I
Yeah.
said, we did one on Jerry Lee Underwood out of Pocatello, Idaho, and that was fucking huge because we got a relative of hers, a second cousin, thanking
crazy.
us. And
It's crazy because I got family in Pocatello.
yeah, well, yeah, this Jerry Lee Underwood.
yeah. It's just one of those things too, where it's like we're not aiming to like just poke fun at it, obviously, because that's not what we're here to do.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
if
but
anything.
it is just a matter of like we don't know these people, we don't know these stories, we don't know what happened until we figure it out,
right.
and so like we're learning about it at the same time the listeners are in a sense,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So
And we make jokes and stuff to make light of it, but like I said, we're making light of a dark subject because it's really hard. And I won't do that again, guys. I'm going to listen to you guys next time. That our first one won't go into one of these because
no, I mean it's
Our
gonna
first
do
one-
it, but like we need something to break it open, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the way that we approach 90% of our dark topics, because I think we have had a good, solid dark approach, stayed on topic for the most part for some
Yeah.
of our previous ones,
Mhm.
but the way we've kind of approached it now is light breaks in between.
yeah,
Just because
true.
I don't think we want our listeners leaving our podcast or shutting our podcast out
Yeah,
feeling
true.
extra,
like,
because
extra
damn, these
depressed.
guys are fucking grim.
Well,
man.
because like we've come to a conclusion already. It's like people love this shit. You know what I mean? They love to
Yeah.
listen about.
Happy Sunday.
You know what I mean? Like
Here's a
it's just that curiosity of like, oh yeah, what did happen?
But you know, when I do a lot of research about these topics that I bring up because I find them, like Chloe Ottman. We're going to do one on Samantha Koenig again tonight too. That's a dark one too. That's fucked
That
up.
one is pretty bad.
But the thing about it is like I said, the only reason I do it is just like the Chloe Ottman one.
Mhm.
It's not as notarized as Samantha Koenig. The Samantha Koenig was a result of a victim of a serial killer. Chloe Ottman was a smaller case in a smaller area, with just wasn't as high profile. But some little podcast like us is basically just keeping a memory of her alive, even if we never knew her.
yeah.
And
So
I
that
do
one-
wish there was a better way to do that too at a time rather than just speaking on their death, of course.
Right.
But I mean, that's the only way we can really is.
So that's why I led with her personality traits
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to
qualities
do it.
first.
Yeah.
And then
That's the best way to do it, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
It's always sad to see what like some like how notable somebody could have been, you know, with their fuck me
I agree.
accomplishments
I got
at
you.
a young age.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's always sad to see, you know, what they could have been just based
Mhm.
on their accomplishments at a young age. But
Exactly. I mean, and when I study these and I give you guys just kind of an insight of these people, don't these seem like people you would like to have at least gotten to know at least some point? You know what I mean? Like like Chloe Ottman would have been a cool ass person. Like
Yeah, I agree.
like if I was in high school and she had a sly wit,
Oh yeah, that's right up. That's right up our.
that's exactly it. I mean, because you know, physically she looks like Jesse, who used to be on the podcast. No, you ain't got to worry about me. You know, you don't have to worry about.
Dude,
that.
honestly though, yeah, like Jesse.
She does. She
yeah.
looks like Jesse, who used to be on, and Jesse's not.
all horror.
Boom.
not a horse.
Shout out to
And
Jesse.
after this, Matt's applying for a janitorial position at the high school.
Yeah, I'll make some like razor knife glove down in the boiler room or something.
Super neat.
No, I watch Scott on tape. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration because
Yeah.
the dude's always going around and doing that shit. But like you know, like I said, just rest in peace to Chloe Ottman.
Yep.
The next dark one we do is fucked up. But let's roll into we can beat down some video game developers and shit.
thank
How's that
God.
sound?
And with that, we are outro. Oh yeah, sorry.
That's just my line. All right, well, I'm outro.
That's done.
Later, guys.